Hey guys, it's John with ReelBlue Custom Rods, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a video on how to lay out your dragon scale wrap. I know in a lot of previous videos you always see me use the mesh tape method, which I think is a very efficient and effective way to make a dragon scale wrap. But I thought I would go ahead and do a video on how I like, and there's a lot of techniques when it comes to measurements on how to lay out your dragon scale pattern. But I'm going to show you a technique and then you can just kind of build from there. So the first thing I did is I measured the diameter of this dowel that I'm going to use for this pattern. And this dowel came out to be 5/8 inches across in diameter. And then what I did is I took that diameter of 5/8, and then what I decided to do was go down, lay my ruler, after I snapped my line, lay my ruler down, and I went down and I measured where those red dots are at every 5/8 inch. And then I came back where those blue dots are at, and those blue dots are 2.5 5/8 inch, if that makes any sense, or 3/16. So, well, excuse me, 5/16. So what I did again, 5/8 inches apart are those red dots, and then right in the middle, or essentially another 5/8 are the blue dots, but I basically just cut it in half to be 2.5 or 5/16. And then I did the same thing on the back side where I snapped the line. And that's just going to give me my measurements. And of course I have some yellow tape down here, and I have some yellow tape down here on the other side as well. And then this red mark is just so I know what I'm going to call as my top of that. The next thing that I'm going to use is I'm going to use some size D color fast pro wrap thread in black. And then all I want to do is get a bite on my tape, and then I'm going to start turning. And again, remember, this is what I was calling my top, right? So I want to get that to line up where I want it to be at, and I want to hit right on this blue mark. And that's going to put me every other blue mark. And then the space in between, like here, there's no mark. So the space between this red mark and the tape is kind of like my no man zone, or if you will. That's just where I'm going to secure everything at with some thread. Then start coming back. And again, make sure I want to be on the top. And then I'm crossing the same blue spots that I went over the first time. Just like any other chevron wrap, diamond wrap that you're making, this is basically the beginning of that, right? Then I come down here. Then I'll start going back up again. And now this time, I'm going to want to hit that red mark. And I'm going to hit all these red marks as I make my way down. Not pulling too tight, not applying a lot of pressure here with the thread. All right, and I'll start coming back. All right, red thread, red thread, red, or red dot, excuse me. Red dot, red dot. Red dot. All right. Then we'll start going back down again. And this time we're hitting that front blue dot there. Again, not applying a lot of pressure. And again, so it's pretty easy. As you can see, I'm just going down and back, and then making sure I come back over. Come back over my spots right there. Bam, hit my blue mark. And then what I was saying in the beginning is, you know, you can make this dragon scale pattern as tight or as loose as you want it by adjusting your measurements. What I recommend doing is using your rod diameter measurement really as a guideline. You know, if it's an inch across in the back, then, you know, you do your initial spacing out as an inch, and then you can do 1/2 inches, you can do 1/4 inches, however you want to do that in between those inch marks. That's how I like to do it. So now I'm coming back in here, hitting the red ones. All right. And again, hitting the red ones, coming back. Another red one there, right there, right there. And bam, right there. Take that down. Then what I'll do is I'll just get a good bite on that. Make sure it's on the tape really well. Cut my line. Okay, so then that is my setup for my dragon scale wrap. So now I have that dragon scale pattern laid out. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use anything in the what I'm calling the dead man zone there, whatever the free zone. I'm just going to focus on the part in between there where I had my markings at. And then I can also just come in here with my burnishing tool and just make sure I got things evenly spaced out how I want them for this pattern. And then I can go ahead with my thread and do my overwrap. You know, and I can start to come in and lay over my metallic thread over the top of that if I like, or whatever it is I'm going to do, gold leaf, something like that. So again, this is how, or this is a technique on how to set up your underwrap. Again, this is a fairly open one. But again, by using your diameter of the rod as your initial space line for spacing, and then you come in and break that up in between. Again, like I said, if I laid out, you know, an inch, if all these marks were inches, and then I came back every 1/4 inch and made a mark and then came back with my thread, I'd have a really tight pattern. So this is going to be a little bit open, a little bit of a loose pattern for a dragon scale wrap, but I think it'll look great. Thanks for watching. Hey, feel free to share the video if you found value in it. Make sure you hit the like button and watch this next video here. Take care, guys. Bye.